Ladies and gentlemen, this is John Rare. I am live here with the owner of IWA Deep South, Kevin Brannen.
Hey, how's it going, John? Thanks for having me on tonight.
Now, your name is always brought up as one of the most controversial promoters, not only in the South, but all over.
Yeah, pretty much, man. I guess you could say that's what's been going around, you know.
So, we've got a few topics we're going to bring up here tonight, and we're going to start off by one of your sister promotions. When IWA Deep South originally went away, basically due to the Alabama Athletic Commission, you created LXW. Would you like to go into detail on not only just the creation of it, but some of the ideas and what happened during the LXW days?
LXW was the idea for that is I was always a fan of Chikara, and then I was starting to become a fan of $5 wrestling, and so I kind of got the initial ideas from wanting to do like a southern version of kind of a cross between Chikara and $5 wrestling. So that's pretty much the beginning of it, and then we got hooked up with TJ Burks and Bill Chitwood, and TJ he's the best videographer around. Even outside of the South, I would say he's the best man I've come in contact with. And so anyway, when I got with him and I sat down with him and Bill, I started brainstorming and coming up with some stuff what he could do video wise, and then we come up with that idea for the Uber Mansion. I thought, no, actually I think that was Bill's idea for the Uber Mansion. But TJ was telling me some of the stuff he could do with the video work, and so basically we had that first show. I think what was that, May of 2013, and I come up with the idea for that Plunder Buffet Rumble, and then those skits we did with the Uber Mansion were, man, to this day, they hold up. The video quality was just top notch, and some of that stuff we did was very good. And so anyway, the Plunder Buffet was kind of messy. We had some fun times, but I don't know, what was it like for you being there in that Plunder Buffet?
The Plunder Buffet, originally it was supposed to have came down, I believe, to like me and Chaos as the final two. But my ass was slipping around so much in that ring, I wanted to get the hell out of it. Because, at that time, I was still kind of uncomfortable with my leg, with certain situations. And I remember sort of slipping in that match a little bit on that leg. So I bailed. I was supposed to be in, like, the final two. I think I was maybe final six, if best.
Yeah.
But it was messy as hell, and it was definitely something to watch. Now, all your LXW DVDs are available on SmartMark Video.
Yeah, SmartMark Video. There now, Burns has got my category. It's up under IWA Deep South, and so if you want to find mine, you look for the IWA Deep South logo and all the shows. IWA Deep South, LXW, and $10 wrestling are all under the IWA Deep South logo. And so if you're looking for one of those other promotions, it's still going to be under it, because that's what we're most known for. That's what I'm most known for, is IWA Deep South. So, but yeah, they're all on there for sale.
Now, I think originally the Uber Mention was actually going to be called the Army of Darkness, correct? And then we nixed that idea quick.
Yeah, I don't remember what happened with it. I just remember it was Bill's idea for the Uber Mention, because he always wanted to do like an evil scientist, like an evil German scientist, I think. And so I think that was his idea. And then after being around him for a little while and getting some of his work, I mean, we sat down and he went through the accent and some of the shit he was going to say and do. And he was telling me about his costume and everything. And once you're around Bill for just a little bit, I mean, you can tell, man, he's an actor. You know, he's good. I mean, he could be in movies. You know, and so when he you know, pretty much he tried to sell me on the idea. You know, I was convinced. I don't remember how we approached you about it because I think we was putting Bill was like he was like the doctor manager, and then we had Brooklyn as the nurse ballet, and then you was the leader. And I can't remember how we approached you about the idea. I just remember it was Bill's idea for the name, but I can't remember a lot of the other details right now off the top of my head.
Yeah, I don't remember how it was brought to me because I know at the time, you know, we were running, definitely running the New Religion, but I accepted the offer for another group, and of course it turned out very well.
Hey, yeah, man, we did some good stuff. I mean, we ended up doing 5 LXW shows, and all of those LXW shows had really good video editing work. And then we ended up, the last one we did, remember, it was the Invasion of Ubermensch, we did it was iPay-per-view.
Yeah.
And I'm still happy with that show. That was a lot of work, but I remember it was a really fun show. And I remember it was really hot. But I don't know out of the 5 innings. Well, I know you're supposed to be interviewing me, but I guess we can just go back and forth. It don't matter if it's up to you. But I was gonna say out of the 5 LXW shows, which one was your favorite? If you had to rank.
You know, I did enjoy, you know, Invasion of the Ubermensch, which, you know, that was the first time the Ubermensch ever lost to the Sickness.
I'm down.
But I thought Thunder Mania was probably one of the biggest, because as far as I know, any show that I ever worked for you on, that was the biggest crowd you ever drew, because it was like 700 plus, right?
Yeah, it was 600 plus. It was 600 plus. I still to this day, I don't know what all played a factor in that. I know we did the radio advertising and we did like the local paper, but I mean, the only other thing that I can credit it to is the fact that we had all those old school names booked, which unfortunately, you know, the Armstrongs were supposed to be on there, and they didn't show up. But then we had Robert Gibson, Dr. Tom Pritchard, and then we had Lord Humongous. And so the only thing I can figure, because we had done, you know, we used that radio station before on several other shows and didn't draw anywhere close to 600 plus. And so that's the only thing I can think of was those old school names that drew us that difference. You know, that was the difference maker.
Of course, you did have Shakara on that show as well.
Who was that?
Frightmare, correct?
Oh yeah. But I don't think he like. I think it was primarily the big old school names, you know, is what put it over the top, you know.
Now, one of the LXW shows you got to witness the Ubermensch against the Sickness, and of course they brought in Super Brown. Now, I want to go on to our next topic here. Their other person was none other than Christian Kross, Now, Kross has burnt you a few times, and here recently it was again at, what was that, Lethal Leap Year?
Yeah.
So, what's your thoughts on Christian Kross now?
I hope he died a slow death. That piece of shit, I wouldn't piss in his mouth if he was on fire on the side of the damn highway.
It's right here.
Now, did you ever get like, what happened or anything, or did he just purely not show?
Didn't show. He wanted his, because, you know, he lives in Arkansas now, so he wanted his trans up front, which I was fine with that, because, you know, most of the time, like, if guys live that far away, you know, I'll sometimes, you know, PayPal them their trans, but I won't pay them their work pay. I don't pay nobody their work pay until the day of the show.
Yeah.
Now, of course, I hadn't booked any WWE names. Now, granted, if I was to book like a WWE name, or, you know, there's like 40 or 50 that just got released. I hear WWE names like to have a retainer, like to have a deposit. So, unless it was a huge WWE name, I would not pay work pay up front. I sometimes, like I said, if the guys are several hours away, I will PayPal their part of their trains, or, you know. And so I didn't send him all his trains. I mean, I sent him what I was going to send him, which it wasn't gonna. I don't think it would have got him there and back. But I sent him what I was going to send him, and, you know, he wasn't going to get much more than what I sent him. And but anyway, so my mistake was I shouldn't have done that. I should have, and I may not even. That's why I may not, unless I just really trust you, and you haven't no-showed me before. I'm probably just not gonna do that again. I'm probably just gonna say, look, guys. I mean, you know, if you ain't got enough money to get to the show, I'm sorry, but I've been burnt. You know, sending guys money up front. You know, unless I just really, really trust you, and we're tired or something, but I just really rather not do it. And so that's what ended up happening, man. I ended up PayPaling his damn part of his train, or what I was sending him, and the motherfucker didn't show up, you know. And I tried to message him the day after the show, and never would respond. I had other guys message him, and they didn't get a response. I think somebody said that he blocked them for asking why he wouldn't have. It was, don't quote me on it. I don't know for 100%, but I think it was Peter B. Beautiful. I think Peter B. Beautiful asked him what happened to him, and I think he said that he blocked him.
No, yeah, I know he no longer. He either no longer has a Facebook, or he blocked me too, because you can't find him on Facebook anymore.
Did he? Have you tried Sheena's Facebook?
Yeah, you can't find his profile no more. Like,
okay,
in our messages, like we had on when we were talking, I went back to look, and, you know, it says that this conversation is no longer available or whatever. So therefore, he deleted his profile or blocked.
Yeah, see, I wouldn't have thought he'd have blocked you and Sheena both. So if you can't see it from hers either, then he probably deleted his account, I guess. Yeah.
As of now, yeah, I haven't heard from him. Which, you know, he burned me a little bit on that too, because, you know, I brought my filming equipment for the show. I was actually going to be filming a small movie, you know, documentary behind the scenes about him, and, you know, I put up all that footage beforehand, and then it didn't show up. So yeah, he burnt me at the same time there.
Yeah, I mean, he was talking real big. I mean, he told me, because see, me and Tyler was the main two people that brought weapons for that show, and I was limited on what I could spend because I was already past budget on the show. But I mean, I was trying to get Deep South. I was trying to get a splash for Deep South and get get our name back out there. And so I didn't spend as much on gimmicks because I spent more on the card. And so me and Tyler was pretty much the only two people that brought gimmicks. When then Kross was supposed to bring a whole truckload of shit.
And
well, then ended up Kross didn't come, so then Tyler had to go back to and Tyler, man, I got to give my shirt off to him. He's a super guy. If it wasn't for him, I couldn't be doing these shows right now because Tyler helps me out a lot financially right now. And I used to didn't have no help at all. And so he went back to Home Depot and he got some more shit that he didn't come down there with. And if it wouldn't been for that, we wouldn't have had as much as we had. Because the Kross told us he was going to bring like, I think he said he had like 200 something light tubes plus some boards, some doors, a table, like razor blade board. I mean, he had all this shit. And so he screwed everybody, man, because we were supposed to have more gimmicks. Well, so luckily Tyler came through for me, and he was able to go back and get some more stuff. And so we ended up, I feel like we had just enough gimmicks for the death matches. That if we'd had any less, it would have been, it looked a little, shy. But it turned out, I feel like it turned out we had enough for every match. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, like, when it came down to what me and Peter had to use, we had plenty. And I think the show turned out very well. That was one of the best IWA Deep South shows in a very long time because, with IWA Deep South and the commission being around, yeah, Deep South kind of lost its edge. So, to me, both of those shows combined, which is Lethal Leap Year and Shoot Style Baby Tournament, which are both available right now on smartmarkvideo.com, I thought that brought the edge back again to Deep South. And, you can bring out one positive on Kross not showing. It was, I came back out of retirement already, and I did that for you and Peter. And
yeah.
And you when you originally asked me, I said no. You remember, right?
yeah, I remember you said no, man. But I kept begging you because you know me, man. Hell, I got a way about that. I just had to keep talking to you, and I said, man, I'm in a bind, man. The show's gonna be fucked up. What are we gonna do? So I kept on. You finally said yeah, which I think is good because then Cody McCulley got you. I kind of got you hooked back in to the ring, and which I'm looking forward to that one coming up in a couple of months too. Not to start a new subject, we can talk about that later, but.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Like, yeah, it lured. If anything, it lured me back in just for a little bit, so I can knock a few names off that list. And I picked Cody to be the first name on that list. And when it came to the Angel of Death tournament, I'm the one that spoke up to you about Cody in the first place, if you remember. So I've got a little hope in Cody. I'll say that.
Yeah, man, he's good, man. He's a good one. Jerry Nelms, I just didn't have the room for him last show, but now Jerry's gonna be on our backyard show. Matter of fact, Jerry's gonna be working Phil Monchio. I'm looking forward to that one. Which we can talk about that. Damn, I'm bringing that up again. My bad, man.
That's cool. I mean, yeah, you can bring it up because, like, I literally just did an interview the other day when I was talking about Phil Monchio. I love Phil. Dude's awesome. And I said the same thing about Jerry. Jerry Nelms, he's on my list too. Like, I became a fan of him the night of Angel of Death tournament. I thought he fucking, he bled buckets that night for us. So, those are two of my guys right there.
Yeah, and I think Phil did great at a Shoot Style Baby, and then again at the night show. I mean, he had 3 matches. I think him and Little Donnie was a damn good match, and him and Akira in the finals was a really, really good match. and then he worked Hoss again at night, and it was a good match. So Phil worked 4 times that day, and he stepped up, man.
To me, Phil is an underrated wrestler. You know, he don't get the credit he deserves. Because, you know, like, my debut Carnage Cup was Carnage Cup 7. He wrestled Jeremy Flint that night. And, you know, he had those damn blood marks all over his chest. If you know, I know you've seen it, but you know, the fans, if you haven't watched Carnage Cup 7, for like a regular match, watch Jeremy Flint versus Phil Macchio. And, you know, that was a killer match.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people, because it's Carnage Cup, they may sleep on that match, but it was actually a damn good match.
Now, there's usually one person you can depend on very well, and, you know, we've depended on them for multiple things, so let's get on to the next subject. He's our favorite Mexican wrestler, Chuy Martinez.
Yeah, man. You know I love Chuy, man. I just talked to Chuy a few days. Well, no, hell, it's been a couple weeks ago or so.
No, wait a minute. Did you literally just say that you love Chuy?
You what?
Did you say that you love Chuy?
Yeah, I love Chuy, man.
I thought you were racist, though. You can't love Chuy if you're racist.
Man, you know that shit ain't true, man.
But you can't love Chuy if you're racist. That's what I've heard.
Man, people started that shit. You know why they do that shit, man? Because I'm from the South, and I'm white, and I'm conservative.
No.
And so, but that doesn't mean you're racist. But if you're from up north, you know, they look down on people down here, and they say, man, you know, that's clan country, and that, you know, it's just crazy. You know, they start rumors, and like all these years, man, people try to say I'm racist. I'm like, dude, man, I've always had non-white friends, like, the whole time. I mean, like, always. So I don't understand it, but it is what it is, you know.
You and Freight Train have a great relationship.
Hey, shit, me and Freight Train, Pork Chop, I mean, you know, I get along with people, man. I get along. I mean, if you're good to me, man, I mean, I try to be good to everybody anyway up front. I mean, until you do me wrong or you screw me. And so, you know, people say I'm racist and all, but you know it ain't. But I tell you, man, people, I mean, I'm not. I'm going to tell you why. Is white Yankees are more racist, are more bigoted toward Southern people in general, but especially white Southerners. And so I got more, like, honestly, dude, this is the truth. The most people that I have the most beef with right now are Yankee whites. I mean, Yankee white people. Now, I'm not saying if you're from the North, if you're a Yankee and you're white, that you're not a good person. I'm saying my own personal experience is I would say the overwhelming majority of people I do not like are fucking Yankee white people. And that's just my experience. So yeah, I'm a damn racist, but people that I actually do not like are Yankee white people. So that doesn't fit the racist narrative that they're trying to put on me. It doesn't, and that is the truth. That is not no bullshit.
I know one of our favorite white people that is a Yankee is Anthony Moscow.
I love it. Now, Anthony is one of the few. He is one of the few Yankee guys that is cool. But look, do this, dude. Call Anthony and talk to him on the phone. He would tell you the same shit that I just did. Okay, he's like, dude, most people up here are fucking crazy, liberal, left-wing lunatics. He said, dude, I fit more down there with y'all. I said, man, you ought to move down here.
Trust me,
So he's thinking about it. I think eventually I'll be able to talk him into moving down here because he loves the South.
I just talked to Anthony today, so yeah, I understand. Trust me, I had him over to my house before. Whenever he was working down here, he came over and had I cooked out for him, and I treated him good. Yeah.
Now, John, speaking of that, man, I'm gonna ask you something now. Hold on, John. You were originally born in Alabama, or was you originally born in Illinois?
No, I was born in Birmingham. I spent 6 years down here. Then I moved up north.
Okay, yeah, so you're Southern by birth too, then.
Yeah, like when I moved to Illinois, I was 6, and I spent it up there till maybe 20, I think, somewhere around there.
Yeah, I know you like it better down here.
Yeah, the South is definitely better.
Yeah.
So let's get back onto our favorite Mexicano. And I'm not talking about El Mexicano. I'm talking about Chuy Martinez. You and him's always had a good working relationship. You know, he went through the old Carnage Cups, and then he had a hell of a showing at the Super Stiff competition. So, you know, you and Chuy, how is y'all's relationship?
It's great, man. I mean, we hit a spell. Something happened. Well, remember, I went a long period of time. I didn't talk to him, but I wasn't running shows. And I'm trying to think. I went through a spell where I wasn't talking to him when I wasn't running shows. And if you remember, that was also during the period where I kept getting banned from Facebook. Well, then,
yeah.
I had also, I'd gotten a new phone. I lost Chewy's number. Well, then I got banned, what was it, three or four times. It was 3 or 4 times I got banned from Facebook, and it was 30-day bans each time. And so I went, there was several months there we didn't talk, but it had nothing to do with any heat or any, we never had any heat. For that period of time, I don't even think I was talking to hardly anybody. Because you like me, man, I do a lot of my talking on Facebook. I don't talk to people on the phone a lot. I don't do a lot of phone calls. I do social media, unless you're, sometimes if it's really something that I'm on fire about, I'll call you. But if, normally it's on Facebook. But, no, it's great, man. I talked to him, here not long ago, and we was talking about my backyard show, and he's coming in. He's going to actually come in for it, and I told him, I said, whenever I do Carnage Cup again, I'm going to have him on it. There's no doubt. I mean, I told him, whatever I do now, I have him on there. Which he's back in Texas now, and I think he can drive over. But he's living back in Texas, so no, everything's good, man. I'm ready to see him, in July. That'll be the first time. I guess that'll be the first time I've seen him since SSI. So that's been 2 years. Yeah, I think has it been 2 years?
Yeah, it's been that long.
Did we do anything last year?
Last year was Angel of Death. That was it.
Yeah, that's right.
And
and at the time he was still in Colorado, and I couldn't afford any fly-ins. That's what it was. That's what started it. He thought I was mad at him because I didn't book him on Angel of Death, but it wasn't that. We were on a shoestring budget, and he was in Colorado at the time, and I couldn't afford to fly. That's what started it. And he thought I was mad. I said, bro, I ain't mad. I never was. Never was mad, man. I was just, I couldn't do a fly-in. And so that was one thing. But no, as far as cool, man, hell, we've been cool since 2006, man, since that Carnage Cup 06. I mean, that was the first time he worked. You didn't come to that show, did you?
No, that was I was still in backyard at that time, and Big James was the one that, convinced me, I think, to talk to you and everything. But back in those days, I didn't want nothing to do with the indie scene. I was against the indie scene at that point. I was a backyarder, so I was. The reason I was mainly against it is because you remember Global Championship Wrestling, the GCW of Alabama.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, we didn't like them in the backyard, so I just assumed, every indie scene every indie promotion in the area was the same damn thing. So, I just didn't look into anything else. But, eventually Big James got me and you to talk. That's whenever Southern Discomfort finally happened. And, the rest is history there.
Well, seeing that you learned a lesson, though. That's why you can't judge by the group. You got to judge by the individual. And see, that's why can't be racist, man, because there's good and bad people in all groups and individuals. And so you were assuming because GCW was shitty that I'd be shitty too, and then it turned into we fucking mad dude. We've been like fucking brothers for what? How many years now? 10 years? Or 11? 10, 11?
It's been 10 years because Southern Discomfort was in 2010. And that,
that
was my first time actually working for you.
Yeah, 10 years, dude. Damn, does it seem that long?
No, it would have been 2 or 3 years more than that if you would have let me wrestle at Carnage Cup 5.
What? Let's see, 5.
Because remember, I rented you the ring at Carnage Cup 5, and
that was your ring?
Yeah, that was my ring at Carnage Cup 5. Because remember, Joe Hogan rented you my ring, and he told me that if I would do it, me and Talon could have that match. Remember? And you said you didn't know me either at the time, but you said there wasn't no room on the show, so you actually paid me and Talon a little bit more just to sit in the damn crowd.
Yeah, I remember that, but I couldn't remember if it was Joe's ring or yours. I remember booking through Joe, but that was your ring.
Yeah, that was my ring.
Yeah, but I did the book. Did the booking through Joe, but yeah, that's crazy how things work out. I wish looking back on it. I wish I would have let y'all work that night, but. If I could change one thing, it'd be one thing. I'd have put y'all on that night. But I think after that, I think since then, though, I feel like I've done everything I could, man, to put you over. And most of these other guys would have never done that, like Brett Lauderdale or DJ Hyde or some of these other guys.
So talking about Brett Lauderdale, 2-3 years later, rolled around, and there was the birth of the IWA Saul Series. Did the Saul Series change Carnage Cups forever?
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. And this ain't blowing smoke up your ass or spiders. And this is damn truth. But starting at Carnage Cup 7, when we started doing the Saul Series, this ain't no shit. This is what I feel, and I'm going by what the fans said, and I'm going by the anticipation when people was talking. I'm talking about even people that hated the shit said the same thing. It's Carnage Cup again. It was kind of like the Undertaker's WrestleMania streak. It was like what was the Mania for so many years. The one thing everybody looked forward to at WrestleMania was Undertaker, his streak. Well, when we started that first solid at Carnage Cup 7, and then we went and did the second one the next year, then fans started saying, they started. You started seeing Carnage Cup and Saul together, like went hand in hand. And so, like, okay, man, it's Carnage Cup time again. you know, what crazy shit are they going to do, you know, in the Saw match this year? They just, they kind of went hand in hand together. So it was kind of like, it was one of those annual Carnage Cup traditions after that, once we did that first one, you know, at Carnage Cup 7. And that's what I compare it to, you know, on a smaller scale, obviously. Yeah. You know, because Mania is Mania.
Yeah,
but yeah, on a smaller indie scale,
obviously,
that's basically what I compare it to.
Obviously, your DVD sales went up after Carnage Cup 7, though.
Yeah, and I still say that first one, the Carnage Cup 7, the first song, even though probably the one at 10 might have been the most violent, all in all, the first one is still the most infamous. And motherfuckers still talk about that shit.
And
I've seen, if you go back and look at the YouTube clips, I think last time I looked, it was like six digits. It was six digits. It was up into hundreds of thousands of views for the stab spot. And I don't think we had that after that. I think that one there, that kind of set the precedent. I mean, that kind of, you know, that first Saw, man, is still the most talked about one of all of them.
Yeah, and that's going on. You know, next year that will already be 10 years.
Yeah. So I kind of hated to see the Saw series end. But I mean, y'all was getting older, and I think by the time you got to 11, you know, I know it was 11 and you was outside, and I know you was beat up and Spider's beat up, and it was after, I think we probably, I'm not taking away from y'all's Carnage Cup 11 performance. I think it probably peaked at 10. I think as far as the single, the one-on-one matches, my favorite was three Carnage Cup 9 was probably my favorite overall match. Carnage Cup 10, the four-way finals, that one probably had more like really fucking crazy over the top gimmicks used. But I don't know. What do you think about them, man? How would you rank them all?
Yeah, I've always said that Carnage Cup 9 was my favorite Saw match. 10 definitely, like you said, had the most crazy shit in it, because, you know, that's where I did the face first into the razor wire, which you're not going to see any other person do that shit. You know, then we had the firecracker boards. You know, there was a ton of shit. So, yeah, 10 was definitely one of the most violent. 7 was the most infinite. You know, to me, the second one, it just told a story about dedication that, you know, me and Spider had towards each other, because, you know, when you originally called me for that booking, I was still on crutches. So, you know, I took that booking to put Spider over that night. So, you know, that was the whole reason that whole damn match happened.
Yeah. So which one was your least favorite?
You know, out of all of them, honestly, I'd say my least favorite was just the newest one, Legacy, at Angel of Death tournament. And, you know, I guess the only reason I say that it was my least favorite is because I did get eliminated first, which was my idea, because, you know, I wanted the other guys to be able to perform and, you know, put their effort through. Now, if I wasn't retiring, or if I would have stayed retired, you know, I would have lasted longer in that match. But the point that I wanted to retire, I wanted to be the first one to be eliminated, to, you know, basically say, hey, I'm going to put these other guys over. This is their show now. You know, I'm gone. So, you know, if I knew I was going to come back, yeah, I would have stayed in the match longer and, you know, lasted longer. But, you know, yeah, that'd be the reason why I didn't like that one as much as the other ones. And then you took, you know, the element out of Spider Boudreaux, And, you know, if I'm correct, Spider still has not wrestled since Carnage Cup 11, if I'm correct. And, you know...
Nah, he hasn't wrestled since, man. It's been 3 years now, and it's been up and down, man. You know, I wanted to do Carnage Cup 12 a couple of times, and then I hit a little patch where I didn't want to do it again, like, because of the headache. And then, you know, I've had ongoing problems with finding a building. And then finally, you know, we found that one in Georgia in October, but we did Angel of Death instead of Carnage Cup, you know, for a retirement show for you. But if everything goes well, nothing goes wrong, fucks up or anything, if everything goes to plan, I mean, providing that the COVID-19 shit don't come back and shut everything down again, I'm planning on, you know, doing Carnage Cup 12 next year. I was going to do it this year, and then the COVID-19 stuff hit, and I said, well, I need to take some time off, pay some down old debts and shit anyway. And so I mean, as long if I can, you know, if I can run it, you know, if I can do it without the COVID shit, which I think by now, I mean, they're gonna have a cure for long. They're fixing to open. Alabama's fixing to open back up anyway. But I don't know. But people say there's gonna be a second wave in the fall, but I figure, you know, they're gonna get a cure, you know, pretty soon. You know, probably by the end of the year, maybe at the latest. So I figure if I run it next year, I should be good. And so, because I know I've had fans, man, that's emailed me from all over the damn world want to know when 12 was gonna be, and it's just been one fucking problem after another.
Yeah.
Either my head ain't, my heart and head ain't been in it, or either we can't find a place, and then, like I said, we found a place now, so, and I've got some help that can help build the gimmicks and clean up, and so I think it looks like we're finally going to be able to do one, but like I said, it's going to be next year now, but
trust me,
if nothing else happens, nothing else goes wrong, it will go down next year.
Trust me, I know about what you talk about with the headaches because, you know more than anybody. I quit how many times before the Angel of Death tournament ever happened because all the bullshit that kept coming up with Angel of Death. Like, that was the most headache fucking show I've ever had to deal with in my life.
I don't know why, man, because look, we did it. We did the Angel of Death. And then this last show, the two shows, I didn't have any headache, man. The only person no show was Kross, and man, it was smooth sailing. But for some damn reason, Angel of Death, man, was fucking migraine headache #1 since the day we fucking booked it.
Yeah, because I mean, it's almost a guarantee that every week, that after you booked it, about every week, some kind of problem came up. And like, within the month of the show, it was like 2 headaches or 2 problems every fucking week.
Yeah, and then remember, right there down, even right down to the wire, it was up in the air whether the show was going to get canceled or not because somebody had called the building and I think shared some video clips. I don't know that. I can't say for sure. But anyway, had told the owner, you know, what we was going to do. And so I had to have a long talk with her and ensure her that I've been doing this shit a long time and, you know, we know what we're doing. And I smoothed it out. And I'm like, well, you know, hell, I've been got the damn, you know, it's done booked. I mean, like, it's at the wire. I mean, we got to do this shit now. I mean, you know, it's going to fuck me all kind of ways. And so, see, it almost didn't fucking happen. And then so when it went down, everything was good. So then when I booked Shoot Style Baby and Lethal Leap Year, didn't have no problems. Because once we got over that hump of doing that first show there in that new building, then the owner saying, hey, well, you know, it is crazy, but everything went good, and he didn't trash the place, tear it up, or whatever. And didn't nobody fucking die, so then we was good, So I think we're gonna be good, man. And as far as I know, like I said, unless this COVID shit messes with us again next year, the plan is to have Carnage Cup 12 at the fairgrounds in Carrollton, Georgia. That is the plan. I don't have a date, but the plan is to do it there, though.
Now, one of the most brought up questions that I get all the time was from Carnage Cup 11. Whenever we filmed the movie, we told everybody we were filming the movie, and we did film the movie. But, you just updated me today on some fresh news about the movie. So, tell the fans about the movie, and, hopefully all the news is accurate and updated now.
I got a text 2 days ago from Louis Justice. That was the director and the co-producer of the movie. And he told me as soon as quarantine has lifted, which now he's in California, and I know California is going to be under quarantine longer than Alabama, I'm sure. But he told me when the quarantine was lifted in California that he was going to wrap the movie up. And so, according to him, the movie should be wrapped up later this year. And I'm going to hold him to it, because the motherfucker done told me a few times it was going to be finished. He told me, he said the movie will be finished later on this year. And so, sometime, I don't have an exact date, but it will be this year. The movie will be released.
And trust me,
so,
I get asked.
I know you and I, man. We done seen all the clips and shit, and we know. I mean, it looked great. I mean, he got some great footage, and I mean, what he had some good stuff to work with, man. And I know it's gonna be good. I mean, it's just getting it done,
Yeah, like now, if you don't know the movie, it starred myself, John Rare, Chewy Martinez, Kevin Brannen, and it's an actual movie. It's not like a documentary, so it tells a story of a small wrestler trying to come up and make it big. So that's the gist of that. I'm not going to release anything else about it, but it'll definitely be something you will watch. Now, we got about roughly 13 more minutes, so let's bring this up right now. Is like when the indie scene comes back, it'll be more important than ever to go out and support your local indie feds. Now, here recently I've become the voice of Venom Championship Wrestling, and also Venom Championship Wrestling's videos are on my YouTube now. So definitely support Venom Championship Wrestling. You yourself have wrestled for them, Kevin, before, or worked for them. What's some local feds that you'd like to see?
Man, I hadn't been keeping up with stuff around here much, man. Well, I mean, I hear good things about New South, but I hadn't went and checked them out, But I heard that they were, top notch as far as Alabama goes. There's another one I think called Rocket City Wrestling. I heard it was pretty good, but I haven't gone and watched it. So
I've heard of Rocket City. There's also one, I believe, here in Alabama, actually pretty local to me. I think it's called Victory Championship Wrestling, which is where some of the New Religion wrestles at currently. Other than that, yeah, I'm not sure about other locals. I know GCW, not Alabama's GCW, but the northern one, Game Changer Wrestling, they had to cancel their deathmatch tournament that was coming up, from what I read on Facebook.
Yeah, I saw this. It's too bad they haven't cancelled their shit. Which they got a huge fan base, but I ain't a fan of. I'm just not a fan of GCW. I watch some of their shows. I mean, I'll still check them out here and there, I'm not a fan of Brett Lauderdale, and so I just don't like giving him any money, you know. But I mean, they've had some good shows. It's just I don't know. I think they're overhyped, though. I don't think to me they're not as good as people say they are. When they do fuck up and do shit that is stupid or either doesn't make sense or either is not good, people don't shit on them like they do us and some other feds. So I'm just not a big fan. But I know one of your buddies you like, Ian Rotten, is back and supposed to do King of the Death Match August the 1st, man. What do you think about that?
We'll see if it's any good. It's a 50-50 chance that it'll get canceled beforehand, like most shows, but we'll see.
Yeah. Do you want to talk now about this, which I can't release where it is, but you know we're doing that Backyard Underground show coming up July 19th, but the location is only going to be released to the workers and invited guests only. You want to talk about that, any, John?
Yeah, we can talk about it because that's going to be me and Cody. Then you've also, like you mentioned earlier, you got Chewy coming in. I believe you got Neil Diamond Cutter on it. You've got a lot of great people on there. Phil Macchio, like you said earlier. I think it's going to bring a different atmosphere, a visual effect for the IWA Deep South. And it'll definitely not be like the softcore, like the fans hated Softcore Cup. Let's talk about that just for a second. The fans, they voted you dead over the Softcore Cup. Now, Softcore Cup 2 was the one, it got out of hand. You had titles stolen that night. The New Religion was just drunk. There was almost fights in the back, fights out in the ring. That match, or that whole damn show, the show on paper looked great, but it was a calamity that night. It was a clusterfuck. You want to talk about that night?
Yeah, man, that show was a pain in the ass. We talked about Angel of Death. It was hell just making it happen. But Softcore Cup 2, now with it, everybody showed up, and it wasn't a headache until we got to the show. And then it was in a bar, and then everybody was, or not everybody, but a lot of the guys, they were drunk. We didn't draw good, even though, I had some good advertising. That's when Effie was having his first come up. That was even before, he hadn't even started working at GCW yet. And he did that gay Triple X match with Mr. Sleeves and White Mike. That match haunts me to this day, man. That's a movie regret that I don't have too many regrets. That's one match I regret. I wish I never would have booked it. But people give me hell about that match to this day. What was it? There was somebody, Punk Rock Kid and Jay Impact did a run-in on that match.
Well, no,
that White Mike got pissed and threatened to fucking leave without working his other match, and the owner of the bar was an asshole. His wife, man, was a hard ass. She was wanting to try to. I had an arrangement that I was supposed to get all the door, and she was wanting to try to let her customers in that just wanted to drink. When we had an agreement that anybody come through that door had to pay my damn ticket cover because I had the damn show rented that night.
Yeah.
But then they got there, and what happened was a couple people left that refused to pay the cover. So she's like, if they're just going to come in and drink, you know, they don't have to pay to get in the show. They're not here for the show. They're just going to drink. Now, like, no, you know, I've got the contract with your husband saying that if they come through the door, you know, I got it rented, you know, for tonight. If you come through the door, you got to pay that damn cover because we got this event going on. And so I got into a fight with her because, you know, because of that. And then ended up I had to cuss the damn dude out because I had to tell him, man, this ain't the arrangement we had. And then, I don't know, damn, you remember what else happened, Joe?
You know, one of your titles got stolen, remember?
Yeah, somebody stole one of my titles, which if I had to guess, it was probably White Mike or Sleeve. I'm not saying they did it absolutely certain, but I feel like one of them probably got it.
And then,
because I don't know, but I don't know. I can't say they did. I don't know.
But then, you know, then the music was fucked up. You know, remember the music guy kept fucking up all the damn music. You know.
Yeah.
White Lightning. If you remember this, at the end of the show, on camera, White Lightning and Little Donnie actually got into a fist fight. Remember?
No, I forgot that.
Yeah.
What was that? What was that about?
Just because I guess you know, White Lightning and Punk Rock Kid was just, I guess, drunk and, you know, causing a scene all night. And then, you know, Little Donnie, if you know, I know you got the DVD. Go back at the end of the main event and you'll see them start fighting at the end of the match.
Oh, yeah, you talking about when Little Donnie got involved in it.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I forgot all about that shit. I have to go back and watch it. I forgot all about that.
I mean, I don't know if you were in the back, like, after the match, but, you know, Terry Houston was about to beat the hell out of Punk Rock and White Lightning. Because, you know, yeah, they were drunk and, you know, they were causing a scene and, you know, they were doing their thing that night. And, you know, then they did that run-in on that match. So, you know, that kind of got heat in the back that night. So, yeah, you know, yeah, they had definitely had a lot of heat that night. You know, that's one thing that I always bring up about the Softcore Cup 2 was the heat that the New Religion drew that night.
Yeah, well, Lightning, nobody, after that night, nobody liked Lightning or Punk Rock. I think I'm talking about, when I say nobody, I mean, like, I know, like, most of the older like the vet, like, I know Terry was fucking mad. I know, like, he never got over it. Little Donnie was fucking pissed. And I think they rubbed people the wrong way that night. You know, which I know they're your friends. I guess they're still your friends.
Yeah.
And I ain't trying to pick on them, but you know, they did get folks pissed off at them, though.
Yeah, trust me, we bring it up all the time. Like, you know, it's just a common talk now that when we bring it up.
Yeah.
And then, you know, then there was also the bra and panties match that went horribly wrong with Spike Zombie and Avril.
Yeah.
Avril.
Yeah, and then somebody, now one of the girls, it was said that, who was it? I don't know which one of the girls, but one of the girls claimed that they were drugged.
Yeah,
Somebody dropped her.
I've heard that. I've heard that Spike Zombie said that she was drugged. And I would actually like to get Spike Zombie on, like, an interview so I can hear her side of the story because, like, you know, the Softcore Cup 2 has so many stories behind it, and that was a story that was brought up that I didn't know about. I just recently heard about that, like, this year, that she was drugged at the show. And, like, you know, I would definitely like to hear her side of that part of the story because, you know, I didn't know about that either. So, you know, Softcore Cup 2 was just a clusterfuck of a show.
Yeah, but, you know, going back, if you go back and you sit in the comfort of your own home and you pop the DVD in and just fucking sit down and watch it, it's great. But the shit we had to go through, and that's why I say sometimes these shows, you know, ain't as fun putting on as they are watching on the fucking DVD after it's over with, man. And sometimes, like the last show, it was just as fun live as it was, on DVD. But that one there, that's one of those shows that I'm glad I did it, but I'm glad it's fucking over.
Yeah.
I'm glad, minus the mic, the white mic gave me shit. I'm just, that's not my deal. I don't like the gay shit. I mean, the fucking whipped cream, 2 men whipped cream in the ass. That ain't, if you want to do that at home in your house and shit, that's you. But that I will never do. I would never have that on one of my shows. Yeah.
Yeah, that match was definitely like, if any of the fans have not watched the Softcore Cup 2, like, I would suggest ordering it. Obviously, you're not going to... I mean, there was actually hardcore on the show, because, hell, there was thumbtacks, barbed wire. Even though it was called the Softcore Cup 2, there was definitely hardcore on there. But that show, like, when you put it in, you're going to see you're going to see everything from beginning to end.
But now, that was damn still... The commission was still going. They were... do you think we'd have got shut down that night if the commission had showed up?
Yes, we'd have got shut down if the commission showed up.
For numerous reasons.
Yeah, lots of reasons.
Damn. It's just been a miracle, though, that the few times, which, that's why I finally got the fuck out of Alabama, because, the way I like to run, man, it's just not, it's not up to code with the fucking athletic commission, so I'm glad I finally found that building in Georgia, because Alabama, man, every time we did those shows under the radar, we were taking a fucking risk, because all that would have had to happen is a representative of the state athletic commission show up, we would have been shut the fuck down.
Like, me and Frog, when we started Birmingham Hardcore Wrestling, our intention was never to, be direct competition with IWA Deep South, but we wanted to be, a friendly competition with Deep South, because that's why we brought Tremont in. We spent some money to do some really hardcore shit. And, the minute, right after our second show, which technically, right after our first show, the commission was established, so our second show had to be tamed down like hell at that point. That killed what we were going to do, because, we wanted to do that hardcore style at Birmingham Hardcore, and, when the commission came in, it killed that whole idea. And, I always want to run another show, because, I've always loved running shows too, but the way the headache is with that kind of shit, I don't know if I'll ever do it again.
Yeah, man, I keep doing it, man, because, there's nothing else here. There's nothing else that gives me the same satisfaction. And, nobody else is gonna book the kind of matches that I'm gonna book. So that's why I just keep fucking running, man. And but as though I don't, I'm not a once a month guy or even every other month guy, because it is a lot of work, a lot of headache, a lot of money. So I'm just a run when I can afford it. Yeah, run when I can afford it, and I feel like fucking with it type of guy. So that's pretty much me. That's just like GCW, man. I don't know how the fuck they do. I don't know how the fuck they run as many shows as they run. I mean, he just must have a hell of a damn crew that helps him do it, because there's no fucking way I would run this. Even if I had the money and the means, there's no way I'd run as many shows as they run. I just wouldn't. I don't want the headache.
So this will be our final subject, because we've literally only got 6 minutes. But just say, if you had the money and you could run a huge show every month with the likes of, like me, Travis Dykes, Phil Macchio, who would be your other picks to run a show every month to be direct competition with everybody else?
Pretty much everybody we had at the last show. Yeah, you, Phil, Little Donnie, Big Donnie, Boris, Probably Aiden Blackheart, Akira, Neil Diamond Cutter, Herzog, Peter and Chuck Stein, probably. Let's see, Cody McCulley, Jerry Nims, Hollis Michaels. Yeah, we said Phil.
There's another Southern guy. I can't think of his damn name right now. He was in the Angel of Death tournament. I've got a horrible memory. This is why I can't remember shit. I need to write stuff down. But, like, I'm a huge fan of him. I can't remember his damn name. That pisses me off. But, like, I would have him on the shows, too, all the time. But, unfortunately, I can't remember his damn name. And it's not because I just don't remember his name.
Which match was he in?
I can't remember who he wrestled. He's the one that did the Spanish fly off of the ring to the outside through the boards.
You talking about the last show?
Yeah.
That was Blaine Evans.
Blaine Evans,
yeah.
That's him. I can't remember.
Gotta have Blaine Evans. Jay Blake.
Blaine Evans is awesome. You know, like what he did at Carnage Cup 11, what he did at Angel of Death. You know, he's a great Southern wrestler. Needs to be put out there more. You know, he was on Freakshow's tournament as well. You know, he's a great talent. And, you know, to me, he's underutilized, and he don't get the recognition he deserves either.
No, I tell you one I wish was still around, but I don't know what the hell happened. The last I heard, he got married and quit wrestling. I guess his wife don't want him. Kilo Green.
Yeah, Kilo.
I was a huge fucking fan of Kilo, man. But he just fell off the damn mat. David Skitz, too. David Skitz fell off the mat. He was a good one. You know, of course, you know my buddy Freakshow. He done that to himself, man. He trashed me and threw me under the bus, and you know, I never was anything but good to him, and he pretty. You know me, man. I tried. I brought him back several times after we had fallen outs, and it seemed like every time I brought him back, after a period of time, he would start talking about me again. And so I just finally said, fuck it, I'm not gonna bring him back no more. You know,
because
I hate it because he was one of the best, man. But you know,
because you brought him back at Carnage Cup 11 because of me. You know, I got with you on bringing him back, and I smoothed out y'all's situation that y'all had then. And then, like you said, stuff kept happening over and over after that, and it just killed that downfall.
It's his hair too. See, I brought him in for Carnage Cup 11 after you taught me into doing that, and we had some heat. And then SSI, same thing. And then after that, this last time, will finally give me enough, and I said, fuck it, was, he trashed me because I hadn't had Carnage Cup yet. Like, literally, that was the reason why I was a piece of shit and I was the worst promoter, because I hadn't had Carnage Cup. Like, that was why. And then like, people started, you know, calling me racist and shit. Well, then he said, you just don't fucking know what I know, which I don't know what he knows, or what he thinks he knows. But anyway, so then it just got out of hand, man. And like literally, I never said anything derogatory about him. Even to this day, I still ain't said nothing derogatory. The only thing I said was I was done with him. But if he would call me and say, "Hey man, I'm sorry I done that," but I mean he won't never do that. So I can't fuck with him no more, man. You know, I'm done. You know. Oh yeah, and then of course Spider, man. I think Spider's got a couple more in him, but man, he's been banged up, man, ever since Carnage. I mean, for 3 years. I tell you what really took him out was when he had that damn ball off that container at Deathmatch Mafia.
Yeah, with
when him and Chewy fell off that damn storage container. Yeah, that fucked him up. Yeah, he's got like pinched nerves in his damn neck, and I think he got a slipped disc. I feel bad, man. I wish we would have had more tables and stuff. But I don't know, man. I don't know how much longer he could have kept doing it if he hadn't have done that fall. You know, I don't know, man. It might have been different, but you know, Chewy was out there with him. Like him and Chewy both, they took the same fall, and Chewy's he's still going full blast. He ain't slowed down. But Spider took him out. So,
well, technically, what took Spider out was John Rare at Carnage Cup 11.
Yeah, that finished him on off, but what softened him up was that fall at Deathmatch Mafia, but then when you and him had the match at 11, that really, I mean, he'll tell you too. He said, man, that finished me on out. Like, I'm fucked, like, totally fucked up.
I mean, me and him were both fucked when we entered the third match at Carnage Cup 11, which was, 2 out of 3 falls. We were both done at that point. And, we literally looked at each other and we were like, we're going to go. And, what was bad is y'all put so much effort into the razor wire and, the flaming razor wire and everything. And we were like, we're going to go out there and do like 5 minutes. We're going to the back. Because, my ribs were fucked at that point. I can't remember what all was wrong with him, but neither one of us could really even bump at that point anymore. But we ended up still going out there and putting on like a 10-minute plus match for the fans. And that pretty much finished him off to this current day. And hell, it took me out of the game for a while.
Yeah, you're a little bit younger than him, so it didn't take you out as much as he did. I think he's older than I am. I'm older than you, and I know he is. He's 2 years older than me. So yeah, he's got 2 years on me. I think I got a couple on you. So, I can't remember how old he was, but I know I was older than you, and he's older than me. So yeah, that age makes a difference too.
Well, Kevin, I have definitely enjoyed this interview. I'm going to be putting it up to my YouTube channel, hopefully tonight. Definitely thank you for your time. And wish you the best. So, I'm going to send you off now. Definitely thank you for getting with me on this. And be seeing you soon at the next IWA show.
Yeah, I'll see you, man. It looks like it'll be July 19th. I'll see you here in a couple months. I appreciate you having me on, John.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, and take care.
All right, bye.